Have you ever questioned whether the world you experience is truly real or just a projection of your mind? And have you ever wondered whether what we called life and death might be illusions rooted in a deeper misunderstanding? Welcome back to the channel. I'm truly honored you've joined again. Today, we are diving into a subject so profound that it can shake the very foundation of how we see ourselves, others, and the world, the illusory nature of reality. Specifically, we'll explore the Buddhist statement that the greatest illusion in this world is seeing birth and death in the unborn. If that sounds cryptic, don't worry, by the end of this video, you may never see life the same way again. Let's begin with a story. Imagine you're dreaming. In the dream, you experience joys, sorrows, relationships, even the sensation of time. While you're dreaming, it all feels absolutely real. You cry in grief. You laugh in pleasure. You fight for survival. But then you wake up, and in a flash, all of it vanishes. The dream dissolves like mist in morning sunlight. Now imagine this. What if your waking life is no different from the dream? Not in the sense that it's fictional, but in the sense that everything you experience rises from the projections of your own mind. You think you're seeing a world out there, but in truth, what you're seeing is your own mind reflected back to you. Just like a mirror shows your face, but the mirror never becomes the face. Your consciousness displays a world, but the world is never separate from consciousness. This is what the Buddha meant when he said beings perceive birth and death, where there is no real rising or ceasing. Birth and death are not fixed realities, their appearances arising in consciousness, like waves in the ocean. The ocean doesn't gain or lose water when waves rise and fall. Likewise, your true nature, the unborn awareness, is never truly born and never truly dies. So why do we cling so desperately to the illusion? Because we believe the wave is all we are. We forget the ocean. We identify with the body, the name, the roles, the emotions. We think, I was born on this date. I will die someday, and in between, I must strive to become someone, to make life meaningful. This belief leads to a life driven by fear, desire, regret, and ambition. But here's the liberating truth: if you can recognize that you are not the wave, but the ocean itself, spacious, timeless, boundless, then all the suffering born from fear of loss dissolves. Now let's unpack this more deeply. What does it mean to say that we see birth and death in the unborn? It means that reality, at its most fundamental level, is not a thing, not a substance, not a static object. It is a process, a dance, an ever-changing play of appearances. Yet the awareness in which this dance appears, the space in which thoughts, forms, emotions arise, is never touched by change. Just like the sky is never stained by the clouds that pass through it, your true awareness is never harmed or defined by the experiences it contains. But we confuse the passing clouds for the sky. This confusion is ignorance, the root of all suffering. And the moment we make that confusion, we begin to suffer in ways both subtle and immense. We begin to grasp, to protect, to fear, to fight for meaning in a world that feels fundamentally unstable. We fear death not because we understand it, but because we wrongly believe that it is the end of what we truly are. But if what you are has never truly been born, how can it ever die? This insight is not meant to be philosophical, it is meant to be liberating. Imagine the peace that would come from knowing, in your bones, that nothing real can be lost. That behind every appearance, behind every change, behind every story of success or failure, there is an unchanging, luminous awareness that remains untouched. This is what spiritual masters call the unborn, the unconditioned, the real. And the illusion? It is the belief that this awareness is separate from what it sees. It's the belief that there is a me in here and a world out there. It's the belief that suffering and happiness come from outside, rather than from our interpretations. This illusion is reinforced by society, culture, even religion. We are taught that we are fundamentally flawed, that we must earn worth and salvation. But what if the truth is far more radical? What if we are already whole, already free, already awake, and we simply need to remember? This remembrance is not intellectual. It's not a theory. It's a direct experience that comes through silent inquiry, deep meditation, and radical honesty. You begin by turning inward, observing the thoughts, questioning their reality, asking, who is thinking this? Who is suffering? Who am I really? At first, the answers may be confusing or absent, but keep looking, keep listening. Let the mind settle. Let the falls fall away. Over time, a deeper clarity begins to emerge, not as something you gain, but as something you uncover. And then, one day, you realize the self you were trying to protect was never real. The pain you feared was a shadow. The freedom you sought was always here. When the illusion is seen through, life changes not externally, but existential lie. You still feel. You still love, you still act, but the clinging stops. The fear softens, the compulsive need to control fades. You begin to dance with life instead of fighting it. You may still grieve loss, but the grief flows like water, not like a wound. You may still have ambition, but it's no longer born of lack. You may still engage with the world, but from a place of deep stillness rather than frantic seeking. This is the fruit of awakening, peace without condition, love without grasping, being without becoming. And here's the paradox: nothing changes, and yet everything is transformed. The world doesn't disappear, but your relationship with it does. You no longer see enemies, only confused friends. You no longer fear the future, because you are no longer living in time. You no longer run from death, because you have realized what is deathless. So now the question becomes, are you ready to wake up? Are you willing to let go of the illusion? To see through the trance of separation, to meet yourself beyond thought, beyond form, beyond identity. It won't be easy. The mind will resist, the ego will cling, the world will try to pull you back into the dream. But once you've seen the truth, even once, you can never fully go back. The illusion may continue, but you no longer believe it, and that disbelief, that crack in the matrix, is your liberation. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you found this message meaningful or awakening, please share your reflections in the comments. Have you ever glimpsed the illusion behind appearances? What helps you stay grounded in truth? Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell to join us for future explorations into the deep and liberating truths of life. Until next time, remember, the wave may rise and fall, but the ocean remains silent, vast, and free.